Boys and girls, welcome back to the drive-thru. Special shout out to my mom and dad that are watching my sick kid right now so I can just finish up this little lesson. It's very nice of them. Okay? Look, here's what you need to know. Pi is a letter. Okay? If you ever join a fraternity or a sorority, it might be one of the letters. It's a Greek letter. But pi isn't just a letter, it's also a number, right? You guys know that it's 3.14159, whatever, okay? It's a letter and a number. This gets really confusing because x is a letter too. But x can mean any number. So far, so good? Okay, so the next thing I want you to know is that e is not like x. It is like pi. It is 2.718 ... Okay? And I am not going to explain to you where e comes from because it comes from a calculus equation, but it's a number that we use to calculate compound interest. So, right now, all you need to know is that e is a number. Okay? And I wrote pi up there because it's like pi. It doesn't ever repeat, and it doesn't ever terminate. It's a really funky number. It's called irrational. Okay? Not because it makes bad decisions, but because it cannot be written as a ratio. It's not a fraction. All right, here's the next thing you need to know. You're going to see this all over your paper. That is just the log base e of x. I'm sorry. Some mathematician decided that this was simple and this was complicated. I beg to differ. I get this. We've been doing a lot of things that look like this. And I know that E ain't nothing but a number. Okay? And so I get that. This scares people off. And this is what I mean, that you guys are just as good at math as the accelerated kids, but you get more confused and intimidated by this notation change because you don't have the confidence yet. So I don't want you to be alarmed. When you see ln of x, it's just log base e of x, okay? All right, so now we're moving. Since most of this is on that blackboard over there, I'm gonna use a new screen. I leave that blackboard up during class, okay? Question. All right, so now to like the only really important part, or the key to today's lesson. Okay, if you are in this situation, okay, and you have e to the x equals 10, how many variables are there in that equation? There's just one. It's just the x. Because what's e? E ain't nothing but a number, okay? To get rid of that, you could take the log base e of both sides, but there's actually a button in your calculator that makes it quicker. So what you do is you take the natural log of both sides. Now watch what happens. The natural log of e to the x is just x. So those are called inverse operations. You remember those? They undo each other. So can someone put ln of 10 in their calculator? 2.3026. Thank you. Thank you. Okay? So have you found the ln button on your calculator? It's right above log. You need one today, Josh? Okay. You definitely will not be able to do this homework without a calculator. Alex, here, borrow this. All right, so at this point, I have one more thing to teach you. I'm going to keep it on this same page. So if you are in this situation, okay, let's say you have, I don't know, ln of x equals 5. Okay? Well, since the inverse of e to the x was natural log, the inverse of natural log of x is e to the whatever. So what you're going to do in this situation is you're going to take e to the both sides. It's something you've never ever done before in math, but it's just yet another opposite step. You're going to get it when we do these problems. So guess what e to the ln of x gives you? X. Okay? And so now you got to type in e to the 5th to figure out what the answer is. Right above ln and the second key should give you e. So what is e to the 5th? What is it, Alex? Excellent. Okay? So now let's get going on some of our homework problems. I don't have them pasted up yet because the internet was slow today, so I'm just going to write them out. First of all, number one, you should already be able to do without my lecture. This is a little bit of review. Because remember, ln is just log base e, and if we have log base e of 3 plus log base e of 4, we can take that addition and turn it into what? Okay, so the answer to this is ln of 12. Okay? You could, if you wrote it like this, you would not be wrong, so I could not mark it wrong. Okay? But this is generally accepted by math teachers, just so you know. All right, number two, again, is review, but it's asking you to use, oops, sorry. Okay, so first, you need to take that 3 and use the power rule. Does everybody understand what I did there? And then I'm going to use the subtraction rule and turn that subtraction into what? Division. Divide by. Excellent. Okay? So now you're off to a start, but we haven't even done anything new yet. Yes, Katie. Oh, sorry. Yes, thank you, Katie. MVP. Okay, we good? So now we're on to number 4. And this is going to start to feel like very similar to what we did yesterday, which is good because you guys did great yesterday. All right, so first step, do what? What do you think, class? Divide both sides by 2. Excellent, Caroline. So you get e to the x equals 2. And now you're left with this question, how the heck do I get rid of e to the x? Well, we want x. So remember, what's the opposite of e? That's right. So you just take the ln of both sides, and so you get x is ln of 2, the natural log of 2, but we'll write the answer as a decimal. 0.6. Keep going. Okay. Now here's why I want you to keep going. We're going to have a test on this next week, and if you have time, you should not turn your test in until you make sure you get 100%. Because now, go back to the beginning, and in your calculator, type in 2e to the 0.6931, enter. You should get an answer that's very close to 4. It's not going to be exactly 4, because we estimated our answer. But it should be like 3.999. So that's how you know you got it right. Now you can move on to the next question. Does that make sense? Okay, so I think we'll do number 8 next, because that one's a little different, just a little different. You get 12 times e to the 3x minus 2 equals 8. Okay? First step, divide by 12. Excellent, Katie. You get e to the 3x minus 2 equals 8 twelves is 2/3. And for those of you guys that like working in decimals, you cannot round these and get your answer right. So you'd have to type in 0.6666666666667. So I recommend working in decimals on this, okay? All right, next step. Take the natural log of both sides. Okay? Because what we want to do is just get rid of the e. Turn this into an equation we're more familiar with. That gives you 3x minus 2 equals, help. Natural log of 2/3. It's going to be less than 1. Negative point. Keep going. 40, sorry. It should be 5, I think, shouldn't it? Look at your rounding. Okay? Now, here's the deal. Just leave that in your calculator. That's what's nice about these graphing calculators. You got a big number right there, right, don't you? Just leave it. What's our next step? Add 2, so hit +2 to it. No, that's not 2 point. What do you get when you add 2 to it? Can you guys tell me what the next number is? Okay? And now, again, you got that number in your calculator, so it doesn't matter what you estimate it yet. Divide everything by 3. And you get? And again, not that you have to do it, but if you wanted to, you could, in your calculator, 12 times e, so the 3 times this minus 2, and it'll give you just about 8. And now we're going to move on to the back, okay? We will do 10 and 14. Natural log of x minus 3 equals 2. All right, we got the natural log by itself, so we can instantly get rid of the natural log by, this is weird, taking e to the both sides. E to the natural log of x minus 3 is just x minus 3. I need e to the second. I don't obviously know that, and I'm proud to not know what that is. One more, Hallie. There you go. So we're going to change that 06 to a 1, okay? But it's okay. Just leave it in your calculator, and it truly doesn't matter. Next step. Add 3, and you get x is 10.3891. Finally, um, 15, the hardest one on the whole homework. Bless you. You get ln of t minus 4 squared plus 2, excuse me, equals 5. Did I write that down right? Okay. So what do you think that I'd have to do first here? Which 2? This one? I agree. I agree. I agree. Take e to the both sides. That cancels that. You get t minus 4 squared equals, what's e to the third? Sorry, I didn't hear you. Thank you, Paula. Okay, don't be intimidated. What do you think that you should do next? Very good. You guys are... What do you get? Add 4. Everybody good? Have a great weekend. Make good decisions. Boom!